Y'all, I'm at just set this up here for a sec. I'm here at White Clay Creek, doing a little bit of trout fishing this morning, and see what we can do down at the lower end, below the historical park. Nice waterfall, nice chunk of water. I like it here almost better than the fly fishing area, and I'm going to work this little stretch, see what we can do. Caught 3 out of here on Saturday, or Sunday. But I'm going to try a little bit of spinning rod and reel with split shot, homemade dough bait, and we'll see what happens. Just missed a trout, I believe. See if I can't get him. And he was jumped out of the fucking water for it. Oh, Mr. McCann! Fuck! Dang! Daggone it. Maybe I'll get him this time. Got him. Got him. Good fish. Really good fish. I got 4-pound test on. Good fish. Whew. Oh, there's another trout jumping out of the water. Oh no! And I lost him. Fucking lost him. God damn it. Yeah. Hey y'all. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to show you a fly. I don't know if you call it a fly or they call them, you know, sandworm worm. Or this is just a different aspect of it. I tied some up today. This is what I was using today. I'll show you what I used today. That's what it looks like right there. These I tied with a number 6 hook because it seems like the way bigger fish are starting to, the bigger fish are taking this with no problem, with a size 10 with no problem. I'd rather have a little bit more meat on the hook and catching the fish. But this is basically what it is. It's tied like this. I do it in that color, that pink. It's pretty good, and I'm doing it in the darker kind of red, almost looks like an earthworm. About, I guess it's about 3 inches long. You can see. These are deadly with trout. This is the first year I started using these, but I can tell you, I hooked. Nobody was catching any fish, and I hooked 4, lost the one on the video as you saw, and then hooked another one and got him and lost him. You know, he came off. So I think you need a little bit more of a bite on the hook, and that's what I'm tying up tonight. I'm tying myself up a few of them, and basically all you do is there's your hook. I grab and they seem to be they seem to like the green bead. They seem to like this green bead better. And these are just eagle call hooks. These ones are, you know, I don't go too high dollar on a hook. You know, fish is a fish. You know, they don't care what do you call it? I caught 1 million fish on eagle call hooks. I basically just tie this in, this bead. I'll zip this in real quick. And I'll tie that head in, so it doesn't move. Then I'll wrap the back end of this to here. I go past the curve because I like the worm, the back part of the worm, to hide down and hide the hook. So then I bring this back up, back down to there, and I'm putting a little bit of weight on it. So the weight that I'm doing on it is I have I'm using this red wire. It's got a lot of shine to it. So then I tie that in. Tie the wire in. About center body. Then I wrap the wire just for weight. Maybe 4 or 5 turns, depending on how much weight I want on the worm. I find out with using a split shot. I was using a split shot on the line today, and actually the split shot kept getting caught, not the worm, you know. So I decided I'll just weight the worm itself. I give it a couple wraps on here. And go back to here again, back up to the head. And then I take a full worm, and I started here at the head, right behind the head. I make sure the distance is about the same. And I wrap real soft at first, so I don't cut the worm. But this stuff's pretty durable, you know. So I go all the way back and I stretch it till I get to the back here. And that makes my worm hang just down, kind of in front of the hook. I come back up to here to where the head would be. I make sure all the worm is just line right now. And then where the bump in the worm, like where you usually see the bump in a worm, I'm going to take the the head over top of the bead. Instead of going through the bead, I'm going to take it over top of the bead. Some guys go over the top of the bead, but I want this to actually hide my hook eye, the eye to it. I pull a little bit tight. I give it a few wraps, and that ties my worm in straight here. Then I'm going to come back around like this and loop it over top, and then come back to here. And then I'm going to come all the way to the back of my worm, to here, tighten that up a little bit, tighten this up a little. Then I'm going to come back and grab a piece of worm that I used on the other piece because I broke it off for the body, so I don't waste too much of the worms. I'll go about half the body, wrap this body in here, this worm. Straighten this up a little bit. A little clumsily, but that's okay. I'll wrap this in here. Wrap this back here to where the tail of the worm is. Make sure this is kind of even, but you can squish down this worm with the line, you know, with the string. And if you got a little bit of bulk there, it's okay. You won't see it. I come all the way back up to the head. Take this part of the worm. I'm gonna wrap it around like this. And now the worm's gonna look like, the hook is gonna look like a straight kind of worm. This color kind of reminds me of kind of a night crawler, so I'm sure brown trout are really like, you know, hitting it. And then I wrap it around here, and then I bring it back a little bit, and that'll bring my, so that it has kind of a straight, even body. It really doesn't matter if it's straight or even, you know, straight or even. It just has to look like a worm. So then I'll come back up here to the head, and then I'll wrap this. I'll hold the worm back and bring that up against the bead, then back again, and back again, and back again, back again to here, to the middle of the worm. I don't want it to come apart. Clip that off, and then where I segmented it, kind of make it look like a night crawler a little bit. I go back over it, then back in, back over, back in, back up to here. Back across, up here to the head, and then I'll finish this off. This, put that in. The kind of that light green kind of makes a little bit of a, I think, kind of a hot spot, you know. And then and that, my friends, is what it's supposed to look like right there. And it has that play in it in the water. And when you're fishing it, and you're taking when you're fishing it, and it's bouncing along the bottom, and you leave it free go, you know, free fall. And I was using a indicator on top of the water with it, with probably, well, depending on the water. Water was probably 8-10 inches, so I had about 1.5 to 2 foot off of the indicator, and it was kind of bouncing along the bottom. But I had a little split shot, and like I said, the split shot kept getting stuck. But if I moved the split shot closer to the worm, it didn't float better off the bottom. So that little bit of wire in there is going to make this a little bit heavier. I got a little bit heavier duty hook. The other ones I was using were, I think, with size 10s, and I think a size 10 is just, it's just a little too small. So I'm going to try the 6s. I won't try it tomorrow, but sometime this week or next week or whatever, I'll go back out there with a fly rod. And with the fly rod, I won't have to use any weight. I'll just flip this out there and let it go down, and I'll do a video on, you know, fly fishing and stuff, and using my 3-weight, 5-weight, you know, weight fly rod. But the pretty good worm and pretty easy tie too, so I'm quick. But that's what I'm tying up. I'll catch y'all later. See you on the creek. Ask me for one, and I'll give you one if you see it.